Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Damien here, and today we're going to be talking about why I don't, or why you definitely should not save your money. Now, obviously, disclosure, I'm not a financial advisor, so take it with a grain of salt. You choose what financial advice you should follow, and if you just follow some random people without doing any of your own research, that's just your fault. But with that being said, let's get into it. So all of our lives, we've been given this whole narrative of save your money, like save up for college or whatever, save up for your retirement, and you'll just live a happy life. And when you get to like 65 or whatever the age is for retirement, then you retire with a set amount of saved money, and then you're good to go, and everything's all peachy. But the problem I have with that is saving money in the traditional way is probably the easiest way to lose money. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense, you know? And I'm not saying like, oh, don't save money at all. Like, it's important to stay liquid and have cash. I'm talking about like over like a year of saving ahead for something. Like if you're saving money to like buy something like a camera or just, I don't know, whatever you're into, a makeup palette or some shit, and it's doable within a year and you're just like saving that money in your bank account, that is a completely different story. But the saving I'm talking about is when you're holding it in the same bank account, but you're holding it for your retirement and you're waiting years upon years upon years before you actually do anything with this money. Because our parents are always like, oh yeah, put that money in your savings account and then just like, don't even pretend like you have it. Like just let it sit there and then eventually it'll start growing and growing. And it sends me. I can't deal it because we obviously know what inflation is, you know, just cost of living is going up every year by a certain amount of percentage. And then we know what interest rates are, the way your money grows when it's in any account or how much it grows by. And the cost of inflation is higher than the interest rates that you get in basically any savings account, even the high interest savings accounts. Like for example, I have 3 different accounts in my bank. So I have obviously the checking, the savings, and then I have a high interest savings account. So for the saving account, like just the regular account that you get, day-to-day savings, the interest rate, if it's under $1,000, it's 0.005%. If it's over $1,000, like 1,000 to 3,000, it's 0.010%. And then for the high interest savings account, all balances is 0.50 or 0.050%. And you're telling me it's a smart idea to just put all your money in there and just watch it grow over the years? That is absolutely insane. Doesn't make any sense. So say like, throw a random number for inflation, we say like 3% every year. It's going up and your money's only growing by, in a high interest account, 0.050% every year. Clearly your money is not keeping up in any way, and you're literally just losing money year over year. And it's even worse if it's in cash. Like it is not the way to just save the old-fashioned way and literally be losing all of your money. So that's one reason why I don't save money in the traditional sense of just like putting it in a bank or just like having it all in cash, accumulating it over time, because it's basically pointless. Your money is literally losing value every single year. So long-term saving with that doesn't make any sense. Unless, like I said before, you're trying to stay liquid, so you have like a decent amount to throw around whenever anything happens by chance. Like a rainy day fund is different than saving, obviously. But the second reason why I just don't save money that way is because of investments in general, but specifically for stocks. Everyone always says, oh yeah, I need to get into the stock market. Oh yeah, I wish I would have been around when that stock happened. Like Amazon, if you're around when Amazon happened, like actually trading, obviously you'd be a millionaire if you got in early and held the stock, because it's stupid right now. It's like over $3,000, I'm pretty sure. But everyone says that they're gonna get into the stock market eventually because like something that's, oh, cool to do, or like something you probably should do. Well, not my entire life, but a good majority of my recent life, I've always wanted to get into stocks. I'm like, oh, how do I get into this and how do I do that? And obviously, people think it's complicated, but it actually isn't as complicated as you would think. But the reason this pushed me even more to not saving money is because when I first started trading stocks, I started with a couple $100s, I think. Maybe even $100 when I first started, just like playing around and see what's going on and how to do it. And when I saw this account grow from, I guess it would be like $100 to $110 in the span. Well, it was in the span of like a couple of days, but then it like held at that for like a week. So growing from 110 or 100 to like 110 in a week from doing basically nothing. Like you pick the stock obviously, but you pick the stock and then it just grows. And then you look at your savings account that hasn't moved even a cent. You're like, why am I even bothering putting money into the savings account when I could be saving the same money within stocks or bonds or ETFs or like whatever you want to put your money into. Now obviously there's like risk and stuff involved in stocks, but it all depends on your risk tolerance. Like you're not gonna save money in super volatile stocks because you're probably going to lose it. Like you have a high chance to, at least. So you're not gonna put money in that you're not okay with losing in the first place. But back to the story, I was completely dumbfounded about just seeing the money grow from doing nothing. Like everyone always talks about passive income and all this stuff, but like no one actually does it. And then another example of how crazy just investing in the stock market is. This is a complete anomaly, but I want to talk about it anyway because I'm recording this at the time of all this GameStop stock rising and going crazy because of like Reddit and short sellers, and like it's complicated. But this stock was at $40 last Friday, and now currently today when the market opened, it opened at like 300 something, but right now I think it's at 353 at the time of recording this, and that is absurd, completely absurd. If you would have invested a couple $100s, you're already making thousands back. And it's also interesting because I was talking to my coworker about this because I always talk about stocks and like passive income with him and such, and he was like, and he actually got into it today because we were talking about like our funds transferring and whatnot, and he got into it at the start of the day, so when the market's open, and within like 5 minutes of him doing that, he sent me a screenshot of his trading account and how it's already up $110. And I wasn't surprised, but I was like, there you go. And then later on in the day, I think like an hour ago, he sent me another screenshot and he's up $648 around there within, I think it was like 2 hour, maybe 3 hour span. And he was like, oh, is this what the rich people do? I was like, exactly, yes. Because you're not gonna just put your money into a savings account and then just have it sit there and not do any work for you. Your money is supposed to work for you, not you just trying to make it grow with hard work and effort and all this good stuff. Because that's kind of what he was doing before. Like he had like tens of thousands just sitting around, just essentially doing nothing, just waiting to see what to do with it. And then he puts a couple thousand into the stock market and then boom, he already has an instant amount more. And the stock market is just like one example of where your money could help you more than just putting it in your savings account. Like obviously, again, there's a risk factor to it, but you can also just put it literally into any big corporation like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, S&P 500, most ETFs or like mutual funds, and your money is still gonna grow at a safe risk tolerance, but faster than what a regular savings account would grow at. Like literally any bank can talk about, oh, we have high interest and all this stuff, but it's absolutely nothing compared to what you can make in the stock market. Now the only downside, besides the whole risk part, is sometimes it does take a little bit to get your money out of the stock market or whatever thing you're using to trade. Like for example, with what I use, Wealthsimple, it takes like 3 days for deposits and then withdrawals, but it also changes per thing that you're using, because not that I don't think Robinhood works in Canada, but I feel like you could take it out much faster, or if you're like trading literally through a bank, you might be able to take your money out faster because it's like all connected anyway. But yes, this is why saving money in the traditional sense just doesn't make sense to me anymore. unless you're saving for a short-term goal, like I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a new camera body this year and a new lens and a new like monitor or something like that. Those within a year, I'm okay with saving in cash because I'm not gonna just lose the value of the money in like 5 months or whatever it would be. So that's the only time I'm okay with saving money in the traditional way. But outside of that, it really just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, just look at the numbers. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. But that is the end of the video. If you're interested in trading stocks or trying to get into it, like I said, I use Wealthsimple, and I'm gonna have a referral link in the bio description. And if you use it, you get $10 towards your first trade, or not towards your first trade. You get $10 after you deposit $100. So then we both get money. We can trade and make millions. Kidding. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you change your perspective on saving and why it's really suspect. And you know, figure out your own way you want to go about your finances, because saving it in a traditional bank is just not ideal. But if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And